Stretching homemade strudel dough, thin enough to read through, looks intimidating, but it's actually incredibly forgiving. Today, we're making a tarragon strudel from scratch, using a simple, pliable Phyllo dough packed with cottage cheese filling with fresh tarragon and rum raisins. Let's start with the dough. To a bowl, add 200 grams or 1 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour, a pinch of salt, 75 milliliters or 5 tablespoons of warm water, and 50 grams or 3½ tablespoons of melted butter. Work everything together until you have a smooth, soft dough. If you'd rather skip the butter, 3 tablespoons of natural oil works just as well. Once it comes together, shape it into a ball, cover it, and leave it to rest in a warm place for at least 30 minutes. The resting is not optional. The gluten needs to relax, or the dough will fight you when you try to stretch it later. While the dough rests, get your raisins soaking. Place 100 grams or 2/3 of a cup of raisins in a bowl and cover them with a mix of warm water and rum. They need time to plump up properly, so the earlier you do this, the better. If you'd rather leave the rum out, plain water works just fine. And if raisins aren't your thing, just leave them out completely. Next, prepare your fresh tarragon. Strip the leaves from the stems and chop them into small pieces. Tarragon has a strong, slightly anise-like flavor, a herb most people know from savory cooking, rarely from baked goods. That contrast is what makes this strudel its own thing. Chop the tarragon fine so it will spread evenly through the filling. Now for the filling. Start by whipping 125 milliliters or half a cup of heavy cream with 8 grams or 2 teaspoons of vanilla sugar until you get stiff peaks. Set it aside for now. To a larger bowl, crack in 1 whole egg and add 2 extra egg yolks. Add 100 grams or half a cup of sugar and mix well until the mixture turns pale yellow and fluffy. This step incorporates air, which keeps the filling light rather than dense. Add 1½ tablespoons of semolina and 500 grams or 2 cups of cottage cheese and mix to combine. Add your chopped tarragon and mix. Drain your raisins and fold them into the mixture. At the end, fold in your whipped cream and 25 grams or 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Keep it gentle so you don't knock the air out. If your cottage cheese is on the wetter side, add a little extra semolina and give it a stir. The semolina is doing an important job here. It absorbs the moisture from the cottage cheese as the strudel bakes, so the filling sets instead of turning runny. Your dough has rested. Now comes the part that looks harder than it is. Dust your surface well with flour and place the dough in the center. Start pressing it out gently with your hands, then begin rolling it out. The goal is to get it thin enough that you can read actually through it. Take your time. The dough will stretch further than you expect, but if you rush it, it can tear. But even if it does, just stick it back together, press it, and keep working. Work slowly from the center to the edges. And don't worry about the odd small hole. It won't affect the final result. Once stretched, brush the surface gently with melted butter or oil before the filling goes on. Spread the filling evenly across the bottom half of the dough, leaving a small gap on the edges. Fold over the bottom part and then with the help of the cloth, roll the strudel up. Place the strudel onto your baking pan lined with parchment paper. Before it goes in the oven, poke the hose through the dough all the way to the filling. This lets the steam escape while it bakes. Skip this step and the strudel can burst open. A few quick pokes along the top is all it takes. Brush the strudel with melted butter and then put it in the oven. Bake it in the oven on the middle rack at 180 degrees Celsius or 355 Fahrenheit about 45 minutes or until golden brown and crispy. Let it rest for a few minutes before slicing. The filling needs a little time to settle. Dust it with a bit of powdered sugar and serve. The outside is flaky and crisp, the inside creamy and fragrant from the fresh tarragon. If you have a favorite strudel filling, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you grew up with. And if you enjoyed this recipe, give the video a like and subscribe for more. Until next time, bye bye!